Okay, so today we are diving deep into Itemku. It's this massive digital marketplace for gamers in Southeast Asia.
Right.
And it seems to have all this, financial backing, safety features. It looks like a legitimate giant.
Uh-huh.
But then you hear from users, and it sounds more like the Wild West. And that paradox legitimacy meets volatility. That's what we need to figure out for you today.
Yeah. And to really get that conflict, you have to understand the scale. Itemku is huge. I mean, it's absolutely dominant in Indonesia.
The go-to
The
spot.
go-to spot, exactly.
Hmm.
For gamers who need in-game currency, items, or even like full accounts for mobile games, Roblox, you name it.
And this isn't some small operation, right?
Yes.
It was founded back in 2014 in Indonesia by Indra Kamaluddin.
Mm.
And the really critical part is that in 2021, it was bought by Bualik,
Which is a very significant e-commerce company in the region.
a huge deal. So when a company that big buys in, you really expect some serious institutional level safety standards.
And you can see that backing. You can see it in how they try to mitigate the risk for buyers.
So how does that actually work? What's the core transaction?
Well, the core mechanism is pretty smart. Itemku acts as the intermediary, the middleman.
Okay.
So they hold the buyer's payment in escrow. They sit on the money. They don't release it to the seller until the buyer confirms, yep, I got the item, everything works.
Wait, hold on. So if they were acquired by a company as serious as Bualik and they offer escrow and a refund guarantee, I mean, that sounds ironclad.
It sounds it, yeah.
Are you suggesting that guarantee sort of breaks down in practice? If the money is held, shouldn't the risk be, like, zero?
And this is the absolute crux of our deep dive today.
Hmm.
The platform itself is legitimate. It is not a scam.
Right.
But Itemku, it functions more like a giant digital flea market.
Mhm.
Anyone can become a seller.
Ah, so the platform is just the space, but the sellers are the real variable.
Exactly. And this is where the model gets tricky. They're using a safety model built for physical goods to protect these inherently volatile virtual items.
Okay, that's interesting. So what's the difference?
Well, if you're buying something simple, like game top-ups or digital vouchers, those are pretty reliable. They usually work immediately. No problem.
Sure, that's straightforward.
The problem comes with the high-value, really volatile goods, full accounts.
So the moment of transfer, that's where the risk just explodes.
That's it, exactly. The transaction is marked complete the second those account details are transferred.
Okay, I get it now.
But a digital good isn't like a physical one. A week later, the original owner could recall that account, or it could get banned. The item essentially breaks after the safety window closes.
That makes perfect sense. So despite that, the platform's ratings are generally pretty decent, right? Around a 3.6. But the complaints that do pop up must be about this issue.
They are. The complaints are almost always centered on these volatile goods. Accounts that don't work as expected, simple delivery mistakes, and sometimes users report that the 2047 support tends to side with the seller a little too quickly in a complex dispute.
It really just underscores that you have to be vigilant. So the critical takeaway for you listening is this. Itemku is a functional, legitimate marketplace. But your success hinges entirely on your own attention to detail. It's not a hands-off experience.
No, not at all. And the essential advice is simple, but it is so vital. Always check the seller's history and their reviews before you even think about buying.
Do your homework.
Do your homework, keep meticulous records of everything, screenshots, the whole deal, and be ready to trigger that refund mechanism instantly if anything seems even slightly off.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be prepared to use the protections they give you.
That's excellent advice for pretty much any digital marketplace, really. Which brings us to a final provocative thought for you to think about. Why does this high variance, this instability around full account transfers, why does it persist globally? Is it just impossible to build an e-commerce safety net that's robust enough for a digital good that, unlike a physical item, might simply cease to exist a week after you buy it?